Welcome back, everybody, to the Breachers VRML. I'm your host, Gibular Bob. We're back over here in the EU once again for a matchup here, IVI versus Nexus, and this is, I mean, this might be kind of the Acer versus aspect of the EU right now. Of course, there are some other EU teams that are really tough, but when it comes to tough EU teams, you can't really find too many others besides IVI and Nexus, both titans in the EU scene right now, with Nexus being 2-0 undefeated. They're both undefeated. Nexus taking out not only Cheeky Breachy, the runners-up for the EU finals, but also the EU champions for Season 1. They beat .com as well. Their best map Hideout with 16 rounds played and 88% of those rounds won. Meanwhile, IVI also beating some very tough teams in the likes of Los Muppets. If I can, my thing will work here. Okay, there we go. Then they beat Boom, and then just this past Sunday, if you were with Nightfire and I for that cast, you saw them beat Ragnarok as well. So Casey in the chat here still feeling the impact of that IVI loss, but it should be very, very exciting. IVI's best map currently still Ship, where they've played 7 rounds and they've won all 7 of those rounds, 100% won. Hideout, or excuse me, Factory, their second best, 15 rounds played, 93% of those rounds won. And then we get to Hideout, 27 rounds played, they've won 78% of those. Nexus, Skyscraper, their second best, 22 rounds, 64% of them won. And then Ship, 10 rounds, 30% of them won. They've had some pretty tough games over at Nexus. I mean, again, IVI's had some as well, but to have both the runners-up and then the EU Season 1 champions, and to beat both of them definitely cements and Nexus as an extremely tough team that I think we might see IVI have some problems with today. They put up a good match against Nexus, but I mean they put up a good match against Ragnarok, but Nexus is a whole different ballpark when it comes to the EU team. When the EU scene, I mean, you really don't see too many other teams beating both Cheeky Breachy and .com. Now, before we get into the game, while we are currently still waiting for the teams to get into the lobbies, just waiting on one more from, it looks like Nexus possibly. Map number 1 is hasn't been decided yet. But the home team, I believe, here is IVI, so they will get first pick of the map. And meanwhile, Nexus does get the map ban. So if I'm IVI, where am I going here? Probably Ship, but my best guess is maybe Factory as well. They've played really well on both of those maps, and they played really well on Hideout too. So I feel like it'll be a strong matchup no matter where IVI takes Nexus. I think both teams will be able to respond to each other fairly well, and I'm really excited. I don't know about anybody else here. If you're curious as to why Nexus is still 14 and they're a bronze team, this is going to be their 3rd match of the season, so they will officially be ranked after this one. And I think it's also going to be a really interesting matchup because one team can't walk out of this undefeated. It's either going to be Nexus is going to lose their first game of the season, or IVI loses their first game of the season. I guess there's a possibility of a draw, but still, the stakes are high. They are very, very high here in this EU matchup. Now, before we get into it, into the matchup here, let's talk about some of the sponsors that make the VRML possible. Starting off with Triangle Factory. They are big time sponsor for the Breachers VRML here because they're the developers of Breachers. They've contributed an in-game gun skin for the VRML that you can purchase for 150 credits. They also made us a wonderful little finalist skin for Season 1, and they're helping support VRML Con 24, which is happening on the 20th and the 21st of July. Next up, Exclaim, the official merch store for the VRML, and you can make your custom team gear and sell that through Exclaim, and that's how we sell our VRML merchandise. So if you're interested in an exclusive store-wide discount while supporting the league, consider affiliating with the VRML via Exclaim. Next up, ProTube VR, which provides the best VR rifle mounts and accessories. You can help stabilize your aim in-game by picking up a MagTube stock. Put your controllers into cups that magnetically connect to a fully adjustable stock, or if you want to add to the immersion, you can check out the Force Tube with haptic feedback to enhance any virtual shooting experience. With a variety of other products ranging from Beat Saber to joystick mounts, ProTube VR is your one-stop shop for controller peripherals. And finally, HyperX. You can get 15% off MRSP off of fully priced HyperX products in North America using code HXVRML23. HyperX is one of our great sponsors over here at the VRML. They give us some HyperX products for our prize pools. In addition, do a little kit for our casters, and actually you're hearing my voice right now through the HyperX Quadcast microphone with its wonderful little tapped mute feature. See if I do this. But then I can turn it back on, and now you can hear whatever I'm saying. So I could be gossiping about everybody, and you don't even know what I just said there. But big thanks to HyperX. Make sure you check out all of our sponsors, and it looks like we are ready to go into map number 1. Just giving the teams the signal to go ahead. Map number 1 going to be Factory. Here we are, IVI versus Nexus, map number 1 in the series, starting things off with Factory. IVI on the offense, Nexus taking the defense to start off. Taking a look at the starting eco from both of these teams. 3 Spectrals, 2 Cyclones from Nexus. 2 Cyclones, 2 Spectrals, and a Jesper from IVI. Now, IVI is a quick team on the offense, but also they are a very efficient team. They're very fast and they're very thorough. They drone well. So we'll see what kind of response Nexus puts up against IVI, or what kind of defense IVI can expect from Nexus. Remember, both of these teams have some of the best EU players in Breachers VRML right now. Starting things off with a drone into orange storage. Pixel player waiting in the orange storage at the moment as Antba, UK, and Dex moving over. Dex with the frag, tossing it over the partition, looking to take out a Nexus player. Won't quite find it as Pixel player has been droned out once again, forcing them back into receiving. Grandma taking out Itriz as Beaver takes out Grandma with the refrag. Ampa UK looking for some damage on the Pixel player, but Dex with a good bait as Beaver takes out Alex Silence, and it's now just down to Goat Boy and Karamu. Karamu currently playing the connector between sites B and A, now moving to center as there's 2 minutes left on the clock in round number 1 here. Karamu looking for some shots, but IVI has moved over to the other side of the orange hallway. Goat Boy in the back of Workshop right now with 2 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time for IVI to make a move, and there goes the breach through Workshop as Beaver moves in, looks to get that EMP planted. Wee Laddie will take out Karamu as it's now just down to Goat Boy, the last member of Nexus standing here in round 1 on Factory. Goat Boy heading over to the connector. Again, 1 versus 4. Goat Boy with a Spectral. It's going to be hard to bring this one back. Jiggle peeking from both sides as a Beaver takes out Goat Boy with that Cyclone, giving IVI round number 1. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Fraza, God Jambo, David Shepard. I saw we had Casey in there earlier. Joshy, Volley. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all excited for this EU matchup here. And what a start it was from IVI. Explosive pace right off the bat. Separating Nexus, breaking it down into, 1v2s and kind of isolating these Nexus players. And I think if Nexus wants to bring this back, they're going to have to realize quickly that they can't give IVI ones. They need to probably double swing, I'd say. Double swing, triple swing. Play some numbers advantage against IVI because they have some of the best shooters in the EU scene right now. And here we go into round number 2. Once again, IVI on the offense. They've purchased 3 round 2 Vezins, investing heavily into this round. As we see Wee Laddie up on the roof, along with Ampa UK Itriz down by the orange stairs right now, as there's 2.5 minutes left on this second round. Karamu currently playing center of A, right by that bomb, rotating out possibly over to the bathrooms hallway, as IVI making their move over on the orange stairs right now. There's the breach from orange vendings into kitchen through that hatch, as IVI carefully droning out their approach, getting ready to throw Nexus off with their pacing. Itriz moving over to the wall, looking to cover the flank as Ampa UK does get that breaching pump down, but it's an S-tier frag that takes out Beaver. An incredible frag from Karamu to get things started here in round number 2. 1:50 left on the clock, as I think that was Itriz picking up some damage. Ampa UK and Itriz both getting those heals off. It's a 5 versus 4. Currently, Beaver is out early in round number 2. Now 1.5 left on the clock as IVI now bringing out a second drone. There goes the breach into Site A. Karamu playing in the back of Site A, picking up some damage from the Vezin of Itriz. Karamu still challenging that angle as there's now 1:15 on the clock. IVI are going to have to make a move here soon, or else they won't have enough time to defend that EMP against Nexus. If they can get it down on the wall right now, they can disperse and then play a little bit more defensively as some suppressive fire from Dex, but another incendiary good grenade as Itriz takes out Karamu. Pixel player, however, finds Itriz. The EMP's been planted, so there's now just 45 seconds left on the clock. Ampa UK dropping not 1, but 2. Ampa UK dropping a 3rd, as it's now just down to Alex Silence, who's on the flank from Nexus, but very, very late to the party, and ultimately won't be able to assist the rest of the team. Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh, and Dex taking out Alex Silence as IVI pick up their second round. Again, really, really good start from IVI. They've had explosive pace here since the beginning. They played that well. They played it safe. They droned it carefully. Good suppressive fire from Dex covering their teammates so that they could get the EMP planted in time. And again, once you have that 45 seconds on the clock, the defender's job becomes a lot more difficult, right? Because they don't have the extra 15 seconds that they used to. So as Nightfire pointed out in the IVI cast on Sunday, it's creating an interesting shift in the defense meta where site retakes are a lot less common and work a lot less than they used to, because there's just much less time to not only kill all of your opponents, but then go for the defuse onto that EMP. So yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from IVI so far. Nexus They're not off to the best start, but still, they do have time to bring this back. This is only round 2 in the first half. We'll see what kind of offensive pace they bring when they switch sides. But right now, we'll see what they do with a full stack of Vezins. They didn't buy too much utility this time around as Itriz looking to move over into lockers. Karamu taking out that drone as Alex Silence catching Dex. And what is a good start for Nexus, but Antbutt UK does drop Pixel players. Grandma takes out Beaver. It's now a 4 versus 3. Antbutt UK looking to move over into lockers right now. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. And Antbutt looking to possibly reunite with their teammates, but now heading back over to storage, possibly for a cubby breach. I think to an extent, Nexus is guessing that's what the intention is from IVI. As Alex Silence, look at this, sitting way in the back of Blue Vendings, may catch Itriz here off guard if Itriz is not careful. Now, they do have that cloaking device on right now. That's going to conceal their position, slow down the reaction time of their opponents, if just a little bit. Maybe the crucial amount that they need to find a kill. As we see about a minute and a half left on the clock, Alex Silence making their move, takes out Itriz, as Antbutt UK looking for a possible refrag, knows that Alex Silence may try and push into the door, as here we go. Here's a breach into, I think there was either a frag or a breach over by lockers, but we see a minute 14 on the clock now, as IVI are going to have to make a move here. They don't have the numbers advantage by any means. It's a 2 versus 4, so they're going to need to get creative with how they approach this push. Now less than a minute on the clock. Might it be a save round? There goes the storage hatch and the storage wall. 50 seconds on the clock now as Antbutt UK and Wee Laddie going to have to make a move. It looks like they're trying to play for some picks, but Antbutt UK currently has that EMP. I think Wee Laddie and Antbutt are going to go for a possible salvage, or at least try and find as many kills as they can before this round is over. Either way, they're going to need to do something here to get control over this round once again. But this is good gameplay here from Nexus. They're not pushing too much. They're playing it close to the site, not giving IVI the opportunity to secure any other kind of picks. And it looks like, oh, okay, there's Antbutt UK. I thought they went down the hatch, but it looks like time is going to expire here on round number 2 as Nexus pick up their first point of this matchup. And heading into, oh, excuse me, that was round number 3. Now heading into round number 4. We'll see what happens. Nexus only has one. Hold on, is the scoreboard broken? Just a quick little test here. No, it's not. Lagola, you made me look. No. Scoreboards are not broken. Gizmo, what's going on? JJ, Lagola, how you doing? How's it going, Fraza, once again? Here we go into round number 4, again with Vezins from IVI. They did take a loss last round, but it left them with still, you know, some wiggle room. They'd saved up a lot of money from not losing too many people in rounds 1 and 2. So they could take a loss. They can't really take another one right now if they want to keep all of their Vezins and their util active. Meanwhile, Nexus benefiting from the Vezins and the extra economy that they gained from winning the previous round. Sights once again downstairs in Orange Storage and Workshop. Where is the push from IVI coming? They're playing a little bit slower than they were against Ragnarok. They did drone out and they were thorough in checking for roamers, but I feel like they were a little bit faster when they went up against Ragnarok. I think they're worried about some potential roamers coming. Oh my goodness, what? Dex with an S tier frag. taking out two Nexus players, both Pixel Player and Karamu, in a devastating opening for Nexus. Grandma looking to respond with an incendiary to just stall for some time, finds a little bit of damage onto Beaver as there's 2 minutes left on the clock. Ampa UK does get that breaching foam on the orange storage wall. They may try this push here. Goat Boy tossing a grenade towards the orange storage door as Alex Silence does take out Itriz, and IVI knows that there's somebody on the flank now. It's a 4 versus 3 with, Nexus currently on the player disadvantage. Here comes Alex Silence right outside of Electrical. I wonder if Alex is potentially going to try and flank this IVI offense, but they're going to need to be fast before Goat Boy and Gradma get completely overrun by IVI. There's a breach as there's now just a minute 10 left on the clock. IVI are going to need to pick up the pace here a little bit as Alex Silence making their way over into the orange hallway. Dex waiting, checking both of those angles as they're about to walk into each other, but not quite. Dex now heading over to Electrical, getting ready to regroup with the rest of IVI. Alex Silence knows that there's somebody in there, and both of these players just stopping short of going and meeting each other. Dex looking away at the wrong time as Alex Silence makes their way in and finds that roaming pick. That's hard for Dex. Just at the exact wrong time, they looked away. And here comes Alex Silence through the door blocker now, walking right into Beaver. Drops one, but will be refragged by Antbutt UK as it's now just down to a 2 versus 2. But the EMP has been dropped in Site A. Ampa UK with that breaching foam as Grandma takes out Wee Laddie, and Nexus bringing it back here, tossing that frag grenade as it's now just down to Ampa UK, who's got a 1v2. This knows that Goat Boy is in Workshop now, looking to rotate back, but time just expires for IVI, and they're not able to get this round in. Nexus now tying it up in this first half. We're getting towards the final 2 rounds of the first half. And so far, Nexus has started to put up a great response to this IVI offense. IVI, they had a good opening, but right now I think their problem is that they are taking too long with some of these pushes. They're not giving themselves enough time. They've got too many players left alive in that late of the round. And when you have, 5 versus 5 or 4 versus 4, so late into the round with only, less than a minute to go, the defense really has the advantage because all they have to do is just stall for time. Not to mention the great roaming there we saw from Alex Silence. He picked up not 1, but 2 of those IVI players. Really kept them moving forward in that round, and ultimately I think gave them, contributed to giving them that round win. IVI able to purchase some Vezins and Util once again, but right now they are strapped for cash. They won't be able to afford at least some additional util if they buy some Vezins next round. We'll see what their plan is over here on IVI. Itriz and Dex currently over by Assembly as Nexus looking to respond. They're being once again thorough over here on IVI, possibly trying an A push from the flank. Or they could try a B push through Museum. There's a couple of different options that they can go for here as they take out the door blocker in the control room. Ampa UK right outside a bathroom right now where Pixel Player is waiting. Here comes the drone as Ampa UK walks right into trip mines, but they don't go off. But Pixel Player still finds Ampa UK in the incendiary grenade. And that extra trap there might be devastating for IVI as Goat Boy does take out Itriz. Less than 2 minutes on the clock right now. Beaver now dropping in Assembly, and Dex just checking for Karamu, finding a bit of damage, but there's a smoke that's going to close off the point of view from IVI for just a little bit longer. Now there's a minute 40, plenty of time left in the round, but it's a 3 versus 5. IVI unable to crack the defense from Nexus so far. Here we go. As there's less than a minute and a half on the clock, Karamu actually waiting over in control room, taking out Dex's Alex Silence, finds Beaver, and it's now just down to Wee Laddie. And what started off as a great start for IVI is now turning into a very difficult first half for them as they lose yet another round. This is going to be a hat trick from IVI as they pick up what will be their third round in a row. Wee Laddie just waiting up by the skylight, may try and play for some picks here, but if it's anything to go off of, Nexus is not going to take this bait. They're going to play to their site. Once again, Wee Laddie priming a frag, tossing it down assembly. Doesn't go where they want it. And there you have it, 30 seconds on the clock. Wee Laddie not chancing it at all. Looking ahead all the way up to the roof as IVI, once again, not able to crack this Nexus defense. They've certainly had a very, very nice game so far for both teams, but this is going to be the round where Nexus goes ahead and takes the lead in this matchup for the first time this afternoon. So, here we go into the halftime round of map number 1. And IVI not able to field 5 Vezins for this final round in the half. Now, Dex and Wee Laddie, we're probably going to see a half by. Yeah, Beaver picking up a Viper as Dex going for that Cadillo. And Wee Laddie does have some money, so we'll see some util from IVI as well. But Nexus, I mean, look at this. They've got plenty of money. They got util. They've got 3 healing syringes. And they are looking very, very good for this round in the first half of this game. Best case scenario right now for Nexus is to go into the second half with a 4-2 game. Best case for IVI is to tie it up and go 3-3. And I think tying it up would be very, very beneficial for IVI here. It gives them a clean slate and the opportunity to alleviate some of the extra work that they'll have to do in the second half against Nexus. But only time will tell how this push will work out for this IVI offense. There's a door blocker currently blocking off orange vendings from lockers. So Alex Silence is going to hear that. You can see, hearing that audio cue, now knows there's a drone that does spot Alex Silence, who's looking to cover the flank into orange vendings. There's a proximity alarm, which they point out on IVI. 2.5 minutes on the clock as Dex will step into that. They bait out the frag. Very, very well played from IVI. Like clockwork as that drone looking to come in and ping that proximity alarm. And Alex Silence, they know if Alex Silence is about to peek, it's not a good idea to peek when you have a drone following you because they can pre-fire you easily, but Alex Silence does it anyway and finds Dex, and an incredible kill as Alex Silence also takes out the drone. Meanwhile, Ampa UK over by the blue hallway as Itriz and Wee Laddie do take out Alex Silence. That proximity alarm now going down. This is a minute 45. A frag tossed into the back of lockers as Wee Laddie and Itriz actually both flashed by their own teammate. But Ampa UK will find Karamu as it's now a 4 versus 3. And IVI, for the first time in 3 rounds, starting to bring it back a bit on this offensive half. They only have a minute 20 left to execute this push. They're going to have to make some kind of move here soon so that they give themselves enough time to plant that EMP. Now, Pixel player waiting in the back will be taken out by Beaver, and this really should be the signal for IVI to push in. Yeah, there's Grandma waiting outside, tossing an incendiary to close off that push for just a little bit longer. Nexus now knows that what they need to do is stall for time for as long as possible. There's the smoke, there's the incendiary, as Grandma challenging that peak. Beaver, Itriz, Ampa UK all over by storage and blue hallway. And Wee Laddie on the flank, or the flank watch for IVI. Goat Boy and Gradma, the last two members of Nexus, standing as Beaver looking to push up. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. Gradma and Goat Boy know that they're going to need to make a move here. Beaver looking to get that EMP planted. Gradma will find the kill on Ampa UK, but does get refragged by Itriz. Goat Boy now standing up on the partition, is running out of time to make a move here. Gonna have to go for a kill or try and stick the defuse, but it probably won't happen as Itriz down in the blue hallway with that cloaking device, finds the kill onto Goat Boy and ties it up, heading into the second half of map 1. It's certainly been a dramatic start here in map 1. Tied game heading into the second half. Nexus now tasked with completing this offensive push. We'll see how they decide to set the pace here on the attacking rounds. IVI now picking up the defense. We'll see how well they adapt and respond to this Nexus push. Taking a look at the starting eco from both teams. Once again, we're seeing that that 2 Cyclone, 2 Spectral Jesper start from IVI. It seems that that's the go-to pistol strategy for this team. And Nexus with 4 Spectrals and a Cyclone on their board. Who will stand out early in the second half? We're about to find out. Find up. Excuse me. There goes the breach into orange storage, and here comes the drone. And yeah, that's an interesting double static setup from IVI here on the defense. Nightfire pointed that out on the Sunday match, but it's a precise static field setup now that can't be taken out by a, oh my goodness, Pixel player taking out Beaver as they're just caught on those statics right now. Alex Silence, however, finding Dex as Itriz dropping not 1, but 2 Nexus players. Gradma and Alex Silence now moving into orange storage. What are those bodies doing? I couldn't tell you, but there's 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. Wee Laddie hiding under the storage racks right now. Nexus do have plenty of time to make a move here. So they're right now just assessing their options, figuring out what exactly they want to do, how they want to push this. And Gradma foaming that orange storage wall. Wee Laddie waiting exactly on the opposite side of it, anticipating somebody to be tucking in that corner. If they do decide to breach, however, it could be dangerous for Wee Laddie. Now 1.5 minutes on the clock as we see a breach. Wee Laddie, oh, blinded, but they didn't find Wee Laddie yet. What? Okay, a string of kills from both teams, leaving it just down to Itriz, but Gradma secures that kill and will get the EMP planted to give Nexus the lead in this second half. The leaderboard is messed up. Okay, hold on. Let me test this. Beavers 4 and 5. Yeah, I'm not seeing the problems with the scoreboard. Is there an issue? Okay, if there's problems with the scoreboard, please let me know in the chat. And I'll see what I can do about it, or if I'm getting gaslit by the viewers right now. But we'll see what happens as... What's Grandma doing? Okay, I think just took off their headset for a moment. Here we go into round number 8 of map 1. Nexus have shown a proficient start here as they take the offense side. We'll see what kind of pressure they can put on IVI. This is a very, very close matchup so far. The team's neck and neck right now. As Alex Silence just cheating on the roof. Okay. Oh, good frag from Karamu. Will take out one. Oh, and pushes Goat Boy right into the Vezin of Wee Laddie. S tier frag and S tier teamwork as IVI lose their first player in round number 8. Here comes Alex Silence through the blue hallways. Ampa UK will go down to Karamu. Beaver takes out Pixel Player as a blitz from Nexus gives them a 2-round lead over IVI here on map 1. And a lot of people thought that IVI was going to be very, very strong going into this. They are very strong. The bet, however, or the connoisseur vote said 28 votes to IVI and 8 votes to Nexus. And I think the connoisseurs are starting to sweat. I mean, you know, IVI, very solid team. They did beat Ragnarok Esports on Sunday. They beat Boom. They beat Los Muppets. But one thing you have to consider, again, is that Nexus has beaten... again, that EU Season 1 champion, which was .com, and they beat Cheeky Breachy, which were the runners-up as well. So they're a tough team over on Nexus. They weren't able to make it into the postseason in Season 1 because they didn't qualify for it. But right now they are showing that they're a very dominant force in this EU community in Season 2. And we'll see if they can bring it all the way home to give them their first map. IVI not keen on giving them an early map. They've played very well, but Nexus starting to break away. Remember, if they win this round, it's going to be match point for Nexus, and then the best IVI can hope to do is tie it up heading into the second, or excuse me, in this second half. And then their best hope to tie up map 1 and then push for victory in map 2 or 3. But there is a drone from Nexus looking to spot those IVI players on the defense. Interesting. They're trying a very similar push to what IVI did. Here comes Grabma, Goat Boy, Pixel Player, all on the bridge right now. 2 minutes on the clock as Pixel Player looking to take point with a Cadillo. Interesting. Tossing a frag. Oh my goodness, that's an S tier frag. Almost finds Amp, but they are able to back away into the bathroom before picking up some damage. We'll see if Beaver may get into a gunfight with either Karamu or Goat Boy. They're both thinking about it. As Pixel Player finds Wee Laddie, takes out that roaming player. Beaver looking for some Vezin shots. Alex Silence finding Dex. There's now 1:20 on the clock right now as Pixel Player. Karamu and Goat Boy looking to triple swing. Will find Beaver as it's now just down to Amp, but who takes out Pixel Player, rotating back into the bathroom right now, but Goat Boy does find that kill, and it's now just down to Itriz. Oh my goodness, and Alex Silence all the way over in assembly. That was a beautiful shot as Nexus now take match point in map number 1. They're breaking away from IVI even more now. And let's see here. Okay, get the scoreboard up. Hopefully it's not working. Okay, it is still working. I'm seeing in the chat that, yeah, there was an issue and now it's fine. You gotta gaslight him better than that. I don't want to be gaslit at all, Luna. Everyone is lying to you. There's no stream. It's all in my head. Western propaganda. I'm in the West. Is this matchup just a figment of my imagination? Is the EU not real? There's no EU region. Wow. What's not a dream right now, though, is that IVI currently on the brink of defeat here, map 1. This has been a really, really fun map to watch so far. Good plays from both sides. We'll see if Nexus can close it out on this round. A half buy from IVIs. They have 3 Aurils, an RCP, and a Knut. They don't have any kind of one-shotting gun in this round. This could potentially be the last round of the map. And IVI possibly not prepared to respond to this, but we'll see. But tucking. Oh! No, didn't find a kill. Did go down to Alex Silence. His Pixel player finds it. Riz Dex is taken out by Alex Silence, and just like that, it's down to Wee Laddie, the last member of IVI standing as Nexus once again on a blitz round. And this is really what I thought IVI needed to be doing on their offensive half, moving in quickly, as Wee Laddie does manage to find the kill onto Pixel player, but now has to 1v3 this against Nexus and then defuse the EMP all within 45 seconds, which is now starting to tick down. Wee Laddie collecting 2 of those healing syringes. About to swing Grandma, and Grandma will find the kill. And your first winners of this series are going to be Nexus. Frustrating start for IVI, you could call it. They didn't quite get that game the way they wanted to go. Again, from what I saw, we saw it seemed like a different team compared to them versus Ragnarok on Sunday. Nexus, of course, did start off a couple rounds down, but they quickly bounced back against IVI and went all the way for that push to victory on map number 1. We'll see where they decide to go for map 2, but I like their offensive pace a lot more than IVI. They were much faster. I felt IVI was using a lot of time, too much time for their pushes when they were on the offense. Now, the team that gets to pick is now Nexus, so where would they take it? Probably to Hideout. I would estimate that it's going to go to Hideout for map number 2. That seems like a pretty safe vote for Nexus to choose, but we'll see where they decide to go. Sorry, I had to get a quick drink of water there. They're voting for map 2 currently. Where's it going to be? It's going to be 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. It's going to be ship. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I was completely wrong about that. This should be an IVI-sided map then. Yeah, they've played 7 rounds there. Nexus they've won only 30% of their rounds. This was their weaker map against .com. I can't quite remember. But we are going to start up map number 2. Potentially the last map of the series if IVI can't bring this one back on ship. Here we are, map number 2, ship. And again, what could be the final map of this matchup if IVI can't bring a round win against Nexus. We'll see what happens here. My whole life is a lie. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Josh. I'm getting gaslit into believing that the EU does not exist entirely. That the whole region is just, it's made up. Anyways, we'll see what happens here on round number 1 of map number 2. 2 Cyclones, 2 Spectrals, that Jesper. That's standard IVI opening as Nexus with 2 Cyclones this time, 3 Spectrals, all heading up to Infirmary. Interesting. Are they going to swing in? It's a very Wow, okay, this is an organized start, and they're blitzing right now as Pixel Player may be caught on the right from Beaver, who does a fine. Pixel Player does go down to Karamu. They don't have possession of the EMP or the breaching foam right now. They're looking to move into a bathroom, possibly go for a push through bathroom into cafeteria. Grandma hanging back to watch the flank as there goes the breaching foam. Now 2 minutes 15 left on the clock as there goes the frag into the back of cafeteria. Wee Laddie protected by that extra little gap in the cafeteria. Counter frag toss that will find Karamu. S-tier frag as Alex Silence does take out Wee Laddie. Alex Silence looking to get the EMP planted. It taking out Go Boys. Ampa UK finds Gradma, and Dex taking out Alex Silence to end Nexus's early push and give IVI round number 1 here on map number 2. A good start for IVI. This is what they needed. Now I'm glad I forgot to vote. Yeah, you're lucky there, Milo, because yeah, the connoisseur is definitely sweating. Maybe they're feeling a little bit better now that IVI has taken round 1. But this could be more of a defense-sided map between these two teams. I think, if my memory serves correctly, Nexus brought it back when they were on the defensive side. So it could all come down to just, you know, getting a round or two here on their offensive half, and then they bring it back on the defensive half. In that case, IVI are going to need to play very, very well, get as many rounds as they can, as it looks like their defensive side is their stronger one. Here we go into round number 2. Nexus hanging around outside of Pump. What? Oh, excuse me, Workshop. They're on the other side of the map. Currently, it doesn't look like anybody from IVI could reinforce Site B that quickly. They do have one round 2 Vez, and Wee Laddie looking to move up over to Site B. As Pixel Player, oh, over by Green Engine where Beaver is waiting. Slower start from Nexus than before, although that's kind of smart because their first blitz did not work out too well. However, they are flanking Wee Laddie at the moment. Their push started through fire. It looks like they're flanking around to the red engine as Pixel Player swings and finds the kill onto Wee Laddie, opening things up in round number 2. Alex Silence still watching the window in Green Engine, sticking that Spectral through. Beaver looking to push up, though. May find Alex Silence. Oh, Alex Silence moves just a little bit too quickly, and Beaver will miss that kill. Picking up a lot of damage. May go down through the wall, but it doesn't happen. There's now 1:50 left on the clock as Karamu still hanging around outside of Site B. Ampa UK on the flank. May find Goat Boy. Will find Goat Boy heading back up the blue stairs. There's now 1.5 minutes on the clock. Dex waiting in the back of Workshop as Pixel Player looking to move up. They may be able to get the EMP planted on this half wall here in Workshop. As a smoke toss, frag toss. It-Riv's caught by that frag from Pixel Player, who's looking to get the EMP planted, but Dex does find Karamu. Beaver looking to push up, may find the kill onto Pixel Player, will find the kill onto Pixel Player right through the smoke as Grabma takes out Dex. It's now a 2 versus 2. The Vezin is down. They don't have possession of it, but Beaver does find the kill onto Grabma, and now Ampa UK has secured the Vezin. It's just down to Alex Silence, who has to stall for time while Beaver's trying to defuse that EMP. Ampa UK does go down to Alex Silence, as it's now just down to Beaver, who's versus Alex Silence, and Beaver finds the kill, will get the defuse to give IVI their second round. It was very, very close, but Nexus weren't able to bring it home in the end. They will lose this second round to IVI, and keeps IVI moving forward in this first half. Nexus trying not to make noise, but all grapple at the wrong time. Yeah, they weren't very synced up with that grapple push, but fortunately for them, nobody on IVI was by the infirmary window. All right, and here comes the Vezin round from both teams. Nexus able to pick up some gadgets as well. This extra utility is going to be beneficial to them. They've got some frags, an incendiary and smoke. 2 grenades, well, at least an incendiary that you usually see on the defensive half. Not something you always see on the offense. So, curious to see how IVI responds to this Nexus push. Sights, upstairs, top floor, navigation, and communication. Amp-But UK looking for that Nexus drone as Pixel Player looking to make entry pre-fire in Amp-But UK. And when you can swing in with that drone, oh my goodness, that's a good frag. Pixel Player finds Amp-But UK as IVI respond with a frag of their own, and it risks collaterals. Both Goat Boy and Pixel Player's Beaver finds Alex Silence. It takes out Grandma as it's now just down to Karamu in what will be a salvage play, surely a salvage play from Nexus. And get comfortable for the next 2 minutes, 20 seconds, because it looks like this is going to be Nexus playing safe, just looking for picks. And Karamu, not much you can do here in this 1v4 situation. 2 minutes on the clock. Missed out on some fights. Yeah, it was a very entertaining map 1, Brad. I guess we'll put up the scoreboard while we wait here. Karamu just taking out, just peeking the back hallway. But once again, IVI, they're following a very similar strategy that Nexus did, not giving their opponents any peeks. They're not playing overly aggressive. They're playing it safe because they know it's going to be even more important to bring their equipment and their Vezin over into the next round than it is to secure that final kill. I mean, you are giving Nexus a Vezin to go into the next round, but in exchange, you have 4 guaranteed Vezins that are going to go into the next round, as well as some extra utility. Karamu checking out Helm, but I mean, if you take a look at IVI, they're not moving at all. Less than a minute on the clock here, and of course, if we are talking strategy, this is good for IVI so far. Best case they can do right now is still a 6-0 first half lockout. Best case Nexus can do right now is a 4-2. Their chances of bringing it close into the second half are going down with every round. This is going to make it a third round for IVI. And it's really going to hurt Nexus. That means that the best case scenario they can do right now is a 3-3, a tie heading into the second half. Now 20 seconds left on the clock as Karamu just looking for some things to do. Oh. Juggling? Not quite. Not quite. Oh, okay. Oh, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. That was good, Karamu. I always have an appreciation for people that can juggle in breachers. Here we go. On to round number 4 of the first half. And Nexus going to need to bring it back here. Now, this was kind of the turning point for them last game, where they did manage to bring it back against IVI, make it a 7-0 game heading into map number 2. Can they replicate that? Can they replicate the success that brought them here? We'll find out. But IVI looking great with the economy right now. They're able to bring Vezins as well as a bunch of extra util into this round. And currently right now they're looking very, very good. Nexus on a half-buy strategy. I'm not sure how I feel about this. You may just, want to eco, cut your losses, and then go for that 4-2 game. But right now it looks like Nexus are going to try and loot some Vezins, it seems, so that they can potentially make this a 3-3 game heading into the second half. We'll find out what their ultimate strategy is, this Pixel player foaming that workshop wall. Now 2 minutes 40. Wee Laddie waiting over in the red engine as Nexus possibly looking to make entrance over on fire. They've put breaching foam on the two walls, the two exterior walls on both pump and workshop. Just as a bit of a red herring, Itriz taking out Karamu. As look at this, Alex Silence taking a very, very thorough approach, looking for a roamer, in this case, Ant Butt UK, who may get caught off guard by Alex Silence, who entered 2 floors completely away from the site. They realized that the roamer in the previous push on this similar site layout is something that really, really hurt them. But Ampa UK completely rotating away before Alex Silence can find them. And if Nexus does some VOD review, they may be frustrated. That may be very frustrating because they were close to each other, but it didn't quite play out the way that they wanted to. Itriz taking out Pixel Player. A good start for IVIs. It's now a 3 versus 5s down to Alex Silence, Grandma, and Goat Boys. They make their way into the engine rooms. Beaver being taken out by Goat Boy in green engine as Alex Silence looking for Wee Laddie. Will find Wee Laddie in the red engine. Grandma looking for another kill, but Beaver catching that headshot with the Vezin. Alex Silence looking for Beaver, looking to lean again, and will find Beaver. As currently, Alex Silence is going to need to go. Yeah, looking to escape right now. Back up the blue stairs to get away from this IVI defense. And now IVI can chase them, but that's not what they're going to do. Alex Silence moving back downstairs. Trying to catch... Yeah, Alex Silence moving back into the red engine, trying to catch IVI off guard. They were able to secure 2 picks, but IVI have picked those bodies clean. They didn't leave any Vezin around, any rifle for Alex Silence to get their hands on, but they find another kill in the form of Vex. However, oh my goodness, Alex Silence, no! As Itriz takes out Alex Silence. It was a good try from Alex, but Itriz just showing that superior positioning can really take you a long way, and they were able to shut down the almost Viper ace from Alex Silence, not letting them get clipped. SEAL team, what's going on? How you doing? PT, Jedi Milo, Lagolo, Fraza. Again, shout out to everybody in the chat here on this wonderful... It's an afternoon for me, but it's an evening for everybody in the EU who's watching this matchup. So I hope you're all enjoying your evening as well. It's really felt like a Thursday to me all day. I don't know why, but yeah, it's only Wednesday. So I've been kind of off all day on my sense of time, but at least I'm able to tell, when is afternoon and when's evening. And here we go with Nexus up on the roof as they are preparing to head down to that middle floor cafeteria and kitchen. Nexus have got to get, if they want to win this map, they've got to get 2 rounds. Well, in order to give themselves the best shot, they've got to get 2 rounds. In order to get, they'd have to play perfectly if they only get 1 round. So ideally, they'd like a second so that they can screw up at least once. Because typically, that's all you need. If you have 1 second chance, it's usually enough for these teams to bring it back if they're wagering on a comeback defense. But Ampa UK currently in navigation, waiting for Karamu, who was on the roam there. Beautiful headshot onto Ampa UK as Nexus. This could be their round. They've cleared that roamer early. starting off with the superior numbers advantage against IVI. There's now 1:50 on the clock, so it took them some time to clear out that roamer, but they still do have plenty of time to get a plant in or execute some kind of strategy. Now 1:40 as it is waiting down in the lounge. Grandma just hanging around in Helm along with Goat Boy, Karamu, and Pixel Player in that connector. They've blown open the kitchen hatch. So we'll see what Nexus decides to do, but they're falling into the similar pattern that IVI did in map number 1, where their pushes are taking forever. It's a 5 versus 4, and there's only a minute left on the clock. They're not giving themselves too much time to execute a push. Now, if they decide to push kitchen, it'll just be Dex there at the moment, and then they'll have to play the defensive game. But Karamu prepping that frag, tossing it down. That might catch Dex. It'll force Dex out of the kitchen, as this is a good push from Nexus. This could be what they needed. Gradma finding the kill onto Wheelatty, as Dex will swing out, does get taken out by Gradma. Idra is taking out Gradma, however, as it's now a 4 versus 1, and it's just down to Beaver, who is able to take out Pixel Player before rotating away, looking for a second one, but may walk right into Alex Silence, but will walk right into Alex Silence and finds the kill anyway. It's now a 2 versus 1, all coming down to this for Nexus. If they can get this first round, they may be able to get a leg up on IVI, and they will find it, as Karamu does take out Beaver, giving Nexus what could be a crucial round as they prepare for moving into the second half. Still have one more round before switching sides. And Nexus able to buy... Oh, they're able to buy... Oh, no, okay, they are able to buy 5 Vezins, and then they're able to secure the util as well. No, wait, is it 4? Is it Marui? No, everybody's got a Vezin. 4 Vezins and a Marui. And here we go as we move into the final round of the first half. Again, in order for Nexus to have a decent shot at bringing it back in the second half, they are going to need to win this round as well. You need to give yourself some padding. You need to give yourself some ground so that, again, you can afford to make mistakes once you switch sides, because it will happen. Very rarely have we ever seen a team that moves into the second half with, like a 5-1 game able to completely bring it back. Otherwise, if they don't win this, they're going to have to tie it and then play a third map and see if they can find a win there. But the pressure's on for Nexus right now to do as much work as they possibly can in this final round of the first half. They got a break last round. We'll see if they can carry it all the way through. Pixel Player currently droning right now as IVI hanging around in navigation. Again, navigation, communication, the sites. But UK in the helm, moving up the stairs as Karamu hanging right outside of Coffee. 2 minutes 10 seconds on the clock as Gradma waiting outside of Coffee, now making entry. But UK still hanging around in the helm. May prove to be kind of annoying for Nexus to get rid of here. But there's a frag toss. Oh my goodness, an S-tier frag from a Pixel Player, forcing Itriz to rotate back inside of communications, and Alex Silence bringing up the flank through the stairs there. There's now 1.5 minutes though. Nexus they were able to execute a push with not too much time on the clock in the previous round. But they do still want to give themselves some room here, again, because there are still 4 IVI players standing, although Wheelatty was unable to buy a Vezin. Gradma taking out Beaver, and this could be the moment that Nexus have been waiting for the entire first half. Dex looking to move up to the computer, looking for some shots onto Goat Boy, just playing both the left and the right, looking for Pixel Player, looking for Goat Boy. And there's an Incendiary forcing Dex to stay up on that computer, and they won't be able to rotate out to the left, picking up some damage onto Goat Boy as Pixel Player in the backup communications, looking to get that EMP planted, will get it planted. The pressure is now on for IVI as the EMP has been planted. There's now 45 seconds left on the clock. It bringing up the right as Beaver on the left, excuse me, IVI on the left, and Pixel Player doesn't care. They just drop all three as Nexus move into the second half with a 4-2 game, giving themselves the padding that they may need to win this map altogether. All right, here we go into the pistol round of the second half. It looks like it's going to be the IVI special with 3 Spectrals, a Cyclone, and I imagine we'll see a Jesper from a Wee Laddie. There it is. Meanwhile, over on Nexus, they're playing with their standard opening as well. 3 Spectrals, 2 Cyclones. I guess they do kind of interchange that last Cyclone for a Spectral sometimes, but typically you do see that 3 Spectral, 2 Cyclone opening from Nexus. At least that's what we've seen here. It-Riz making their way over to Fire, or at least the back of the map here. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, It-Riz possibly going to go for Fire. Either that or that It-Riz and Dex are pushing Green Engine, where they've opened the window right now. Alex Silence crossing over into Red Engine. I hear a frag primed. Oh, Dex tossing it. Where did that go? Not quite where they wanted it to go, as Gradma will be completely safe from that frag grenade. There's now 2 minutes 15 left on the clock as Alex Silence will take out Beaver. Good start here for Nexus as It-Riz and Dex making their way just outside of Armory. Karamu tossing a frag doesn't quite go where they wanted to go either. But 2 minutes left on the clock. IVI are making a good start here. They've got time. Plenty of time. It looks like they're going to apply a little pressure on the Nexus here. We'll see if Nexus is able to respond to this pressure. Karamu and Goat Boy both hanging around by the Armory door, looking to double swing and move up as Karamu taking the swing will find the kill onto It-Riz. But UK tossing a flash and looking to make entry for IVI, but just decides to hang out at the last second. 1.5 minutes on the clock, so plenty of time, but an incendiary toss by Nexus is going to slow down this push from IVI. There's now just 1 minute 15 on the clock. But UK now looking to push up onto the breach once again. Karamu firing some shots through the boxes there, taking aim at a blind spot in this IVI offense as Gradma will find the kill on Dex, cutting off the flank. Wee Laddie, however, picks up a kill on a Pixel Player, and Karamu swings, however, will go down to But UK as they are able to get a heal off. And just like that, it's turned into a 2 versus 3 with 45 seconds left on the clock. But UK does have possession of the EMP, but things are going to be difficult here for IVI. Alex Silence now moving into Pump. Oh, but will go down to But UK as But looking to get the EMP planted. This could be a bad start for Nexus into the second half. It was looking promising, but But UK takes out Gradma. It's now just down to Goat Boy as Wee Laddie finds Goat Boy, and IVI claim their 5th round. Now, this is why you get a 4-0 or 4-2 game, because this could be some padding for Nexus, but that is not good for them at all. We may see a 3rd map here, because just one more round means that IVI are going to guarantee a tie on this map. What is IVI going to bring? 2 Round 2 Vezins. Nexus. 2 Spectrals, a Jesper. 2 Jespers. 2 Spectrals, and a Cyclone. Oh, wow. They're taking a risk here. I've seen teams able to win against Vezins with an eco round, but it's going to be difficult no matter which way you slice it. We'll see what Nexus can do. Or if IVI can bring it home. They're certainly playing very, very well here on map 2. And they've really turned the strategy for Nexus on its head. So we'll see if they can bring this. Well, I guess they don't really need to bring it back. We'll see if they can bring it home now on the second half of this game, now that they're back on the offense. Two and a half minutes on the clock as a drone being taken out by Pixel Player. Again, I mean, 2 Vezins in possession of IVI. This isn't giving Nexus a lot of breathing room. They have 2 roamers upstairs, but I think they've really gotten the push wrong here. Wheelighty taking out Alex Silence as Itriz moving into the lounge, just checking the door. 2 of the roamers came from downstairs instead of upstairs. There's now 2 minutes on the clock. All 5 IVI members still alive, and they've purchased some healing syringes, so the support items here, allowing them to keep their health up. That's really something that contributed to their success in round 1. They were able to heal and get that health back even when they were quite low. Pixel Player, ooh, almost caught by that frag, but again, those sometimes have some strange collision physics, so it didn't quite find Pixel Player, but Wheeladdie did. Frag tossed by Nexus as Goat Boy takes out Wheeladdie, but not before Wheeladdie drops 2, and it's now just down to Goat Boy in what has been a very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? It just has not gone well for Nexus at all. Their strategy, I think, was botched with the loss of that pistol round, and Dex finds Goat Boy. IVI have secured the draw on map 2. That means we're guaranteed to see a 3rd map in this set tonight. And we shall see what happens. Now 5 Vezins across the board from, well, I guess both teams. Nexus not able to buy any kind of util, though. They're very, very low. The best they can do is either smokes or incendiary grenades. Are they going to do that? I think if they don't buy any kind of utility, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble, because IVI, again, they've got support items. I think that's really what have been what contributed to the win of the pistol round, and then the win of the pistol round decided who would win this, well, at least these next 2 rounds. Now that Nexus does have those Vezins, they could potentially bring it back and tie up map 2. We'll see if they can do that. But IVI, again, I think without any kind of extra util. Okay, they did purchase a frag grenade. We'll see what IVI does against Nexus in what, again, could be the final round of this map. Pixel Player waiting over in red engine at the moment. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock as Dex tossing a frag into the red engine. Won't quite find Pixel Player, but Pixel Player is very much still in there. Now 2.5 minutes on the clock as Alex Silence upstairs on the roam. IVI making their way into fire. It looks like they're going to try and contest both the red and green engines. I'm hearing some flashes tossed. Beaver, Amp UK moving into green engine as Pixel Player still patiently waiting in red engine. Grandma is going to have to keep an eye on Pixel Player's flank, because if they get caught in red engine, things will not end well for them. Amp UK looking to push up, jiggle peeking as Dex taking out Pixel Player from out of nowhere. And Itriz was already inside the site, takes out Gradma as they try to escape. Karamu taking out Dexus. It's now a 3 versus 4. Karamu looking for Wee Laddie as Karamu does find Itriz. Instead, Alex Silence on the roam. Moving into red engine right now. Minute and a half on the clock as Beaver does take out Karamu. But oh my goodness, Alex Silence almost missed But UK. And it's now a 2 versus 2 as Wee Laddie now knows that somebody is on their flank. Now a minute 20 on the clock as Wee Laddie moving around the red engine. Alex Silence on the other side. They're just playing Ring Around the Rosie right now. Wee Laddie looking for Alex Silence. Moving up and will find the kill as it's now just down to Goat Boy. The last hope for Nexus bringing it home on map number 2, finds the kill on a Beaver, and it's now just down to a 1v1 Wee Laddie versus Goat Boy. Wee Laddie will get that EMP planted, now just has to rotate out and makes it out before Goat Boy can catch them, but Goat Boy does catch them, and that is a round win for Nexus. And what could be potentially the start of them bringing it back on the second half. Now, they weren't able to win this map, but they still have the potential of tying it and giving the points to nobody. Take a look at the scoreboard there as I grab another quick drink of water. Here we are on round number 10. Things aren't looking the best for Nexus, but they are looking slightly better as they were able to pick up a round against IVI. This could be crucial. This gives them some extra util to play around with, some extra money, and they are able to field 3 Vezins heading into this round. Not 5, though. IVI still have some extra money to fall back on. They realize at this point that this is their chance to bring it back on this round, because if they can't get a win here, well, at that point, it may possibly be a guaranteed tie for Nexus. So this round is going to mean everything to IVI. They either win it here, or this match will get a lot closer than they probably wanted it to when they first started. Pixel Player able to take out that drone. 2.5 minutes on the clock as Beaver and Ampa UK bringing up the flank over on the blue stairs. There's now 2 minutes 20 on the clock. The sites again are cafeteria and kitchen. Beaver setting off that proximity alarm as Pixel Player was trying to find somebody through that wall. Drone moving in, scouting out Pixel Player and Karamu as there's now 2 minutes left on the clock. A frag tossed into the back of cafeteria. An incendiary tossed in response. There's 2 minutes left on the clock as Gradma downstairs may walk right into Wee Laddie. Oh my goodness, great movement there from Wee Laddie. Apologies for the menu there as we see a minute 45 on the clock. Karamu taking out Itriz with an S tier frag. A minute 43 on the clock right now, and it's a 4 versus 4. 3 Vezins on a Viper against 4 Vezins as Beaver will take out Pixel Player, and there's now just a minute and a half on the clock. Alex Silence responds to the pick from IVI with a pick of their own, this time onto Dex. Alex Silence waiting in that, I guess, extra little partition there. Not sure what you call that, but it is part of cafeteria. Anyways, a minute 15 on the clock right now. Goat Boy waiting behind the counter. Nexus need to hold out against IVI for another minute to time them out, or they have to win this 3 versus 3. Beaver playing the breach right now. This is important for both teams. It's coming down to this. This may be the round that defines the outcome of this game. EMP is passed to Wee Laddie as Beaver moving in, but looking the wrong way, and Karamu finds the kill onto Beaver, and this could be the end for IVI in this round. They have only half a minute to make a move against The rest of Nexus, Karamu finds Wheelatty. Ampa UK refrags Karamu. It's now a 1 versus 2, and Ampa UK is going to have to get creative with how they want to respond to this. Goat Boy is hiding behind that kitchen or that cafeteria counter right now. Ampa UK does not have possession of the EMP. Clears the right, looks to clear the left. There's a body on the table that's blocking their vision. Alex Silence looking to push up. There's only 6 seconds left on the clock, and Alex Silence finds the kill onto Ampa UK, salvages the trip mines, and Nexus move into the next round with a 4-6 game. And IVI only able to field 1 Vezin in this round. Heartbreak for IVI. This didn't go their way. They do still have 2 rounds left, but they are on an eco round here. Half buys from Ampa UK and Wheelatty. And this is going to probably push this to a 5-6 game before IVI can realistically fight back once again. Now, Nexus, once it gets to 5-6, they may have the better economy if they win. This is so betting that they do win this, because anything is possible, and IVI could certainly pull out a win here. But if we're thinking about that end game, when it gets down to that 5-6, Nexus is going to go for that tie, and that's again realistically when IVI could fight back. Reports on Breacher's comp each week are really good. Oh, thank you, Joshy. Something I've started to recently do, and you can find them on the VRML homepage. I've been writing some weekly articles. Stay tuned, because we might get some more opinions from the other casters in the Breachers VRML. So that releases Monday or Tuesday of each week. But yeah, big thanks, Joshy. Appreciate that. A lot of effort goes into making those reports, and Itriz finding the kill onto Grandma to open up this round. Pixel Player responds with a kill onto Wheelatty, as Nexus realized they can play a little bit more aggressive this time, since they only have 1 Vezin up on IVI. And IVI, again, they could defy all odds here. They do still have a Vezin up, so they could potentially get a win over Nexus here, but it is going to be very, very tough. Beaver heading back up the stairs as there's now 2 minutes left on the clock. Now a minute 50. Dex making their way. Well, they've already made their way into Red Engine. Now a minute 40 as Pixel Player hanging around in Pump. Still in that same corner. Ampa UK looking for an angle on the Pixel Player and may find it. Pixel Player's not careful. Pixel Player, however, finds the kill onto Dex in a 3 versus 4, but walks right out into the line of fire from Ampa UK. Alex Silence takes himself out with a frag grenade. No! Not what Nexus wanted by any means, as we see Ampa UK over by weapons, as Itriz takes out Pixel Player. Goat Boy looking to cover for their teammates, and IVI are breaking the lines of Nexus. Goat Boy looking for a kill, picks up some damage. Okramu on the flank, drops 2. That was the collateral that they needed, and it's now just down to Beaver, the last hope for IVI in this round. Kramu finds it, finds another kill, and keeps Nexus chugging along. As we get to round 12 of this second map, it's either going to be an IVI win or a Nexus tie, and IVI certainly doesn't want to tie it up here on this second map, because if they do, then for map 3, all Nexus would have to do is get to 6 rounds, and then they would be able to win the whole thing. Whew, it is certainly an intense matchup, though. Can you believe that pick from Karamu at the end of the triple kill? Finding a collateral, and then the last one that they needed. It looked like IVI might actually pull a win out of that previous round. Nexus have played extraordinarily well here on their comeback, and IVI is certainly not a team to scoff at either. They've done an excellent job securing match point here. We'll see if they can bring it home. The pressure's on for both teams, though, because this round means everything now. We thought that the other round meant everything. This round means everything. This is going to decide if it's a win or a tie, and for which team will the rewards go to. There's a drone moving into bunks right now as IVI making their way over towards the kitchen side of this kitchen cafeteria site combo. They tried to push into cafeteria, and it didn't work the last time they tried it. Alex Silence downstairs last time was caught by Weeladius. Beaver picking up some damage through the red hallway, and but UK looking to open up the rotation into infirmary as Alex Silence downstairs on the roam. There goes the wall into infirmary as IVI just making sure all of their angles are cleared. Alex Silence moving down into the red engine as there's now just 2 minutes left on the clock. Ampa UK running in front of that kitchen door. There's the breaching foam onto the red hallway. Itriz picking up some damage from a frag as Nexus looking to form up over by the kitchen. They've got 3 players in there right now. There goes the breach onto the wall as some smokes and incendiaries are tossed to keep the wall closed off just a little bit longer from IVI. Itriz looking for some damage as Dex finds the kill on Karamu. There's a frag in response. And here comes a minute 20 on the clock. It's a 5 versus 4 with Nexus desperately trying to salvage or to stall for as much time as possible. Alex Silence finding the kill onto Weeladdie, making their way through the rest of that hallway. Beaver on the outside looking for the kill on Alex Silence, and here comes IVI as they're developing into the kitchen. Pixel player finding a kill on Ampa UK's. Grandma takes out Dex, and it's now a 2 versus 2. It's now a 1 versus 2 as Itriz drops 1, drops 2, and map number 2 will go to IVI. Wow. What an intense map number 2. If map number 1 was kind of a warm-up for this, both of these teams playing super well until the very end, but it was just great push. A great push from IVI. They were able to develop into kitchen, and ultimately Itriz found the picks that they needed to work their way ahead of that Nexus defense. That means we're going to see a third map. This is going to be our final map. It can end in a tie. I mean, we can possibly see that. It could end in a 6-6, but unless it ends in a 6-6 true tie for the map, then we could potentially see, I mean, we're going to see either, one team beat the other. We'll find out how it goes. That was an incredibly close game. And it looks like they may be taking a 10-minute time out. So I think the losing team now gets to decide where they want to go. If we're Nexus, where are we going here for map number 3? I think it's going to be Hideout. If I had to guess, it would be Hideout. Hideout or Skyscraper? I don't know which one I'd want to see more. They're both very good maps. I think maybe I'm in the mood a little bit more for Skyscraper, but we'll see where these teams decide to go. Quick shout out to everybody in the chat. Bree Talker, Brabadabado, Blast, Sea Dragon, Joshy, Fuse. How's it going, everybody? Good to see you. Hopefully you're enjoying this matchup as much as I am. When I saw this was scheduled for today, I was like, I gotta pick this up. This is such a good matchup here. I think, again, this is really kind of like an Acer versus Aspect situation in EU. It's really IVI versus Nexus, both absolute titans of the VRML EU side of Breachers. Now, there is another team that just got formed. Hopefully I pronounced their names right. Fyr, F-Y-R. And they've recently made their way into the EU scene. But they've got some of the best EU players on it. Let me see if I can find it yet. It's either Fyr or Fear, whatever it is. But they've got Gooblin, Mr. Tabs, Rise, Void, Dirt Kid, Makamo, and Stick. So, a lot of really notable names there. I think somebody changed their name. No, I'm just wrong. But it should be interesting when they make their way into the EU. They're all on cooldown, but that might be yet another team that can really show us how powerful this EU scene is. I mean, yeah, you've got Nexus, you've got IVI, you've got .com, you've got Cheeky Breachy, you've got Fyr that's coming up, you've got Revolt, which just made their way in. I mean, that's like off the top of my head, and I might be missing one of them, but like 6 top tier teams of players that are contending for the win here. Sunset Ravens are also undefeated so far in this season. So I can go over here and get some standings. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Why am I doing this? I could give you the EU standings. That would be better. Yeah, Sunset Ravens currently undefeated. IVI undefeated. Niffin's up there. Ragnarok's up there. Underdogs, Team Purge, Alpha X, Juice, Nemesis, Exit. Those are your top 10. Nexus number 14. Again, they're not ranked. .com number 16. Cheeky Breachy number 18. Eclipse Blaze EU, they did end up disbanding, so they're not in contention this season, but a lot of their players did go over to Fyr. So, yeah. I really like watching how the EU scene is developing this season. I think it's been really, really entertaining to see these matchups. They've been really, really close every time we've seen them. We've got, Nexus versus IVI right now. We had IVI versus Ragnarok, which IVI did very, very well in, and they did beat Nexus and Ragnarok in 2 maps, but both teams did play pretty well. So yeah, I'm always excited every week we start and we see those new EU matches generated, because it's such a close race for those top spots here in EU right now. We've had a lot of really fun gunfights, a lot of really exciting maps. I mean, you saw that map ship 5-7. It was insanely close. It could have gone either way at the end there, but ultimately it did go in favor of IVI, and we're going to get to a third map very, very soon. Just waiting on the teams right now. It looks like everybody's ready. They've got yet to vote for a map, though. Let me see if I can get a hold of one of them. Okay, we'll see if that starts anything up. Is it rounds or maps? It is maps. So, again, in the regular season, there are no tiebreakers. So you can have a draw. So if this map ends in a 6-6, it's just going to end the matchup as a tie. But if you, when we get to the postseason. Oh, okay. When we get to the postseason, then you see the tiebreakers that are based off of rounds. But right now, you cannot draw you can draw a matchup there. So it's absolutely possible. I like that you can lose a game with more rounds. So 7-0, 5-7, 5-7 is a 17-14 loss. Yeah, it is kind of funny that that can happen. Oh, wow, and here we go. We're starting things up already, and we are going to get to our third map, which is Arctic. Now, I'm not going to lie, out of all of the maps that we saw here, Arctic is not the one I was expecting by any means whatsoever. I thought we were going to see Hideout, Skyscraper, but Arctic is an interesting pick because there's no data for either of these teams on Arctic, at least not off the top of my head. Did I forget already? I'm getting old. No, okay, no, I was right. I'm not that old yet, apparently, because either team has played on Arctic this season. Well, I guess they wouldn't have played on it last season either, but it should be interesting to see how things pan out here in what will be the final map of this matchup. Will it end in a win for Nexus, a win for IVI, or will it end in a slightly disappointing tie between these two teams? 2 minutes 50 on the clock, and here we go as Karamu actually on the other side of the wall from Itriz, but they can't get near each other right now because Karamu is going to have to go through the red room over here where Wheelatty is actually waiting right towards that front door. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Nexus starting off on the offense. Let me swap the teams around there for you as IVI taking the defense for map number 3. Wheelatty does manage to get that drone. Karamu looking to push in, make entry for Nexus. There's 2 minutes on the clock right now. But UK will take out Alex Silence as Karamu swings, does find one, gets refragged, and then Wheelatty who refragged Karamu, gets refragged by Gradma. Itriz taking out Pixel Polaris. Dex is caught by Gradma, who was on the flank. Itriz over in tubes right now, acting as a choke point for this IVI defense. Frag is going to force them out of position right now, but there's 1:40 on the clock. Ampa UK on the flank. Goatboy looks to get that EMP, and there's now 1.5 minutes on the clock. Breaching foam on the wall. Itriz heard the sound cue, looks to swing out, find some damage onto Goatboy. But both of those players still very healthy at the moment. There's 1:22 on the clock right now as Ampa UK looking to push in. Here comes the push, and Itriz does take out Goatboy before going down to Gradma, but Ampa UK able to take out Gradma and give IVI their first round of this third and final map. Does EU ever play US? The problem with that, because I think a lot of teams would really like to see that, is ping. It really just comes down to ping. That's why it's separated in regions. It's just too laggy to have both EU and US play. There have been cases where people have tried to make it happen before, and it went about as well as you might expect. But yeah, I mean, VRML Con, the teams that are getting flown are only NA, but if one of the EU players does decide to fly across the world to attend VRML Con, you may get a glimpse of EU versus NA live when there isn't any kind of ping difference, but unfortunately, not a reality that we can see right now. I don't like the draws. They need to come up with a tiebreaker for the regular season, like TDM or Control Point. The only problem with that is that the ties do affect your ELO. So it all goes into the calculation. That's specifically why we do have ties, because it affects your overall rating, your MMR for your team, and it would not work if we didn't have, or if we had a tiebreaker. Now Itriz taking out Alex Silence as an incendiary toss in the hallway. Ampa UK looking for some shots into Jim as Karamu moving as well. Rest of Nexus making their way into Jim. Last round was very, very close. We'll see. It looks like they may be trying to blitz IVI a little bit here, but there's 2 Vezin players on IVI right now. There's a 3-minute delay on the stream, yes. Anomalous is 1 step ahead of me as there's some more shots fired through the gym wall. Nexus are kind of stuck here. They're looking for somewhere to go. But IVI are very dug in. testing their luck in kitchen, but their luck in kitchen is even worse as there are 3 IVI players in kitchen. Wheeladdie dropping not 1, but 2 as Karamu does take out Dex. Beaver taking the counter, takes out Goat Boy, gets refragged by Gradma. But there's Wheeladdie all the way in the back as Gradma is just caught by Itriz on the flank there. 2-0 with IVI in the lead right now. Very, very nice start here for IVI. They've once again established their lead early in this game. And Nexus, now that they've got Vezins, once again can contest. They're going to need to get some rounds here before they switch over to the defense. Now, last map, they were able to get 2 rounds before they moved over to the second half. And again, I think that really, contributed to their ability to get as close as they did because they gave them some padding and they were able to bring it back. But again, very similar there. You've got to get some rounds here, maybe at least 2 or 3 if you want to go for that defensive comeback. So Nexus has work to do. They've got a lot of work to do. And we'll see if they can push and find the offensive rounds that they need to. They were stronger on the defense, but even just a little slip there in the previous map, just losing that pistol round, I think really decided their fate for them as they lost both of their padding rounds, just barely scraping by to the Vezin round, and then they were able to start their comeback, but by then it was too little too late, and ultimately IVI found the win there. Now 2.5 minutes on the clock as Goat Boy waiting just outside of the hallway here. Itriz in tubes, I think. Wow, that is... Wow! What an angle. Aiming right in between that car. I wonder if can you actually find somebody there? Can you really actually find somebody under the cart? Pixel Play is trying, testing the waters. And Jiggle peeking right now, baiting out that proximity alarm. I think they got it, actually. Now 1 minute 50. Itriz, are you actually going to do this? Beaver. Oh, Beaver cutting them off first, taking out Goat Boy as the rest of Nexus looking to make their way up the red stairs. Abandoning that push. Now 1.5 minutes on the clock as Karamu making their way through research down over into Site A. Oh, Ampa UK upstairs taking up Pixel Player. Good roam from IVI. Oh, and Ampa escapes just in the nick of time. Karamu moving through. I actually don't know what the name of this room is. Alex Silence looking move over into the server room, but is caught by Ant-Butt UK, who finds a second player on their roam. Now 50 seconds left on the clock. Nexus has got to make a move, but it's a 2 versus 5. So I think at this point, you keep your Vezins, you keep your util, and you salvage. Don't bother going in. Just play for picks if you can. Karamu, where's Karamu at? Still up in weapons right now in the red connector. As there's only half a minute left on round number 3. This is a good start for IVI. They've got a hat trick of rounds under their belt. And they didn't lose anybody on this round, so they're able to keep all of their Vezins, all of their util. You see Wheeladdie already picking up a proximity alarm. They're confident that they won't need to bring it into, or that they'll be able to just pick it up now and bring it into the the fourth round, excuse me. And they were right. It was a good bet as Karamu just still waiting upstairs, looking for some picks, but ultimately won't be able to find any as IVI got in, got out, secured their kills, and didn't stay long. Here we go, on to round number 4. Half buy coming from Pixel Player and Alex Silence as they opt for the Auril and the Viper. And I think, yeah, maybe just eco a little bit more than picking up the RL. It's not a terrible gun, but it is also very, very expensive. Scoreboard broke again. Oh, I left the scoreboard up the entire round. No. Oh well. Apologies for that. Scoreboard broke again. Wait, did I leave the scoreboard? I don't know what I'm doing. I've been kind of all over the place. I thought I potentially, I don't know. We'll see if I did leave the scoreboard up or if I just put it up and then forgot I put it up. I don't know. It'll show up on the stream. I'm watching it right now, though. I don't see anything. Anyways, here's a start from Nexus as they move across the snowy roof down over to the A side of the map. They're by bathroom. Interesting. And there's not too much. Oh, Dex waiting way in the back, looking for some shots. As this frag is tossed. Wow, over by Laundry. Good throw from Nexus. Is looking to get the EMP planted, and it's getting planted over in the locker room. I had no idea you could actually plant it in there. 2 minutes on the, well, I guess now 45 seconds left on the clock as Nexus able to get that EMP planted so early in the round, and IVI are in trouble. Beaver is able to take out Pixel players. Beaver takes out Alex Silence. Dex takes out Pixel player. Itver's dropping 2 of their own kills, and it's now just down to Gradma. Frag toss, and it's an S-tier frag. Gradma pushing up. But IVI will find the round, and it's now a 4-0 game with IVI having a very, very strong lead right now. Nexus is in trouble, to say the least. Okay, I just put up the scoreboard again. Let me see here. I don't see any problems with it. I don't see any problems. What am I missing? What am I missing? Is Itriz 7-1? Itriz is 7-1. I don't know. I'm being gaslit by the chat right now. Okay, it doesn't look like I left the scoreboard up for an insanely long amount of time. That makes me feel better. I think I just put it up, forgot I had it up, and then looked down and assumed the worst. Right? I'm hoping so. Wait, how far back? How far back is this? Alright, I just don't mind my technical mumblings over here. I'm just making sure everything's working right. The whole thing about the scoreboard, I'm just no scoreboard for the rest of this. It's making me too confused. Anyways, here we go. Breaching foam right outside of the blue box room. Here comes entry from Nexus as Beaver waiting in blue box. Itriz taking out Alex Silence immediately into the start of this round. Comes back for a heal. Brought to you by Dex. Pixel player priming that frag grenade, tossing it into blue box room. Doesn't go where they wanted it to. You can see that frustration there. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as Beaver hanging over in the corner of blue box. That door blocker is going to make things annoying for them. And Dex finds Pixel player. Nexus are unable to get even inside the building as Karamu does finally find a kill onto Itriz. Beaver caught in that corner at Goat Boy with a very nice swing. Takes out Beaver. And it's now a 3 versus 3. There's now a minute 45 on the clock. Amp Butt waiting in the back of Site A. Gradma Karamu over by the red room. And Nexus they've burned a lot of time in this round. IVI, again, dug in. They realize they don't need to push too much. They're just going to play their site. It's an even game. And the longer that Nexus stays away from the sites, the more they're going to have to push and push right into the defense of IVI. So IVI, this is very good discipline as a team here. They know they don't need to make any reckless movements. And we'll see. Oh, there's a barricade up. So Dex is going to know. Wee Laddie is approaching on the flank from the red stairs. Oh, this is going to be devastating for Ivy. I know, but Dex rotates at the wrong way, at the wrong time, but does find one. Finds two. Very nice double kill from Dex. And it's now just down to Gradmal, who swings on to Dex, finds Dex, but there was Wee Laddie, who was behind Gradmal the whole time. And IVI secures a 5-0 game heading into the halftime round. Not quite the second half yet. I shouldn't point it out, just making you paranoid. It is. I don't even know what's right anymore. I don't know if the scoreboard is broken. I don't even know if I had it up at the right time. The scoreboard gaslighting. It has to stop. It has to stop. That's an interesting take, Magamo. Nexus were done since the start of this map. Is there a particular reason why Arctic? This map is very defense-sided. We came back against IVI 1-5 tie. Hopefully it's not over yet. Yeah, I mean, IVI are playing super well on the defense, and they're now just one round away from a first half lockout over Nexus. Nexus is out of the comfort zone, so even if they do bring it back on defense, it has to be perfect. Again, no padding whatsoever. They've got to play perfect if they want to win. You know, it's going to have to be 7 rounds in a row over IVI. And that has to start with this win. Because if it's a first half lockout, then IVI, I mean, they've got an entire second half to win a round, a singular round against Nexus. In any case, here we go. 2.5 minutes on the clock right now. Karamu heading into Lounge as Pixel Player and Gradmod dropping into Lounge. There's now 2 minutes 20 on the clock as Gradmod moving into Gym along with Pixel Player. Firing some shots through the wall as Nexus making their way in. Do set off that proximity alarm. Pixel Player picking up some damage through the soft wall there. That extra little corner. Oh my goodness, Itriz with an S-tier frag against Karamu. Where did that even come from? Okay, Itriz, I think, just tossed it down the end of the hallway, but Itriz is really being a thorn in the side. Oh my goodness, another great frag as Alex Silence picks up the brunt of that explosion. And there's now 1:45 on the clock. Itriz blind firing as Nexus are really stuck here. They only have one support item, one healing syringe to share between 4 players. Oh, excuse me, there are 2 of them, but they're both spent right now. 1.5 minutes on the clock. And Nexus have got to make a move. It's all coming down to this round. They played such a good map 2. They played such a good map 1. To go into the second half with a 6-0 first half lockout would be very, very disheartening for a team that's played so well. Now 1 minute on the clock. Itriz in the back of the hallway, taking out Pixel Player. Alex Silence looks to take their spot, trading that RL for a Vezin. Baiting out some shots, recovers the EMP and the healing syringes, but there's 50 seconds left on the clock, and it's a 3 versus 5. What do you do here if you're Nexus? I mean, you're really kind of stuck. They're moving it over into Gym. This is kind of where I was heading. Maybe just try and full send it and break the lines by rushing the site, but that is going to be, I mean, maybe leave somebody on the flank watch. Here comes the breach into bunks, but look at this. They're already waiting. They already had a second line of defense waiting in the back. Alex Silence does manage to get amped, but Itriz takes out Alex Silence, secures a refrag there. Gradmod drops not 1 but 2, and here comes a 2 versus 2 as this is suddenly looking a lot more doable for Nexus, who are getting that EMP planted. Go Boy picking up a lot of damage as Wee Laddie just trying to find them through the wall, but the EMP has been planted, but Dex takes out Goat Boy, who tried to escape, and it's now just down to Gradma. The last hope for Nexus in this first half of map number 3. Grandma just has to stall for enough time to prevent them from getting the EMP defuse. But that's easier said than done, as Dex and Weeladdie can push in a coordinated fashion. That's exactly what they're going to do. Pros don't fake. As well, I guess they do over on IVI. Weeladdie taking out Grandma, getting the defuse, and IVI are going to secure a first half lockout here on map number 3, 6-0 over Nexus. Heartbreaking for Nexus. They played so well on maps 1 and 2. Nexus is bad at Arctic. That's why they were done for. I got you. Well, they've certainly had trouble. So I think Magamo is onto something there, because they've played very well on IVI, and Nexus have been struggling for any kind of pace. And really, it's all down to this pistol round now. IVI, I mean, if they win the pistol round, they're just going to win this. Nexus has to win so that they can set the pace for the first 3 rounds of the second half. And then they're going to have to go from there and fight for survival. But they're going to try to at least get some rounds on the board, because IVI is currently stomping Nexus right now, to say the least, here on map number 3. Here we go in what could be the final round of tonight's matchup, or this afternoon's matchup, wherever you are, whether it's evening, morning, or night. This is, well, could be the final round. Pixel player moving up through the red room, looking for that drone. As Karamu takes out Dex, Itris finding Pixel player. Karamu dropping a frag of their own. Alex Silence pushing in. Wow, and it's now just down to Weeladdie. And we're suddenly seeing a big turnaround here from Nexus, as Weeladdie is going to have to 1v4 with just a Jesper. Arctic's their strongest map after Factory. Same with IVI. They're both really good at Arctic. I mean, I know we've seen IVI good at Arctic. Maybe they're both good on Arctic defense, but Weeladdie finding a headshot there onto Alex Silence, picking up a lot of damage, though. Oh my goodness, Weeladdie recovered the support item there. Has the Cyclone. Gonna have to go get the EMP. There's a minute and a half, so if you're Weeladdie, do you go for the EMP or do you just go for the kills? Weeladdie's going to go for that EMP. Nobody on Nexus is watching it. IVI is very strong on every map. I'd rather play them on my strongest map rather than the worst. That's fair. It's really subjective. I mean, yeah, IVI, they're really good on every map, so you know they're gonna put up a fight. What is that angle from Karamu picking up the damage onto Weeladdie? Oh my goodness, who swings but Grandma finds the better shot placement, will take out Weeladdie. And that was a very entertaining round from both Nexus and IVI. And look at this, Nexus picking up their first round in this second half. Were they hoping to just 2-0? Could be. I think Nexus is very strong on the defense, and their goal was to go for those padding rounds in the first half. And now the best that they can do on Nexus is tie it up. They can no longer win this series. The only one who can win now is IVI. And like I said, you know, not only do you have to win 7 rounds back to back, if you lose, I mean, it's just one mistake really is enough to sink Nexus here. If they lose somebody too early, if they, you know, miss their shot placement, their strategy, it is going to be over for Nexus. They're going to be out of this because they lost so much ground in the first half of this map. see if they can continue to respawn to IVI. You see a super eco from IVI right now, so they know exactly what they're doing. I imagine we're probably going to see maybe a Jesper rush, so they can overpower maybe one person on Nexus and possibly salvage a Vezanov. And then that's kind of where I'm heading with this particular strategy. But they are not expecting to win this round. And they've got 5 Jespers. So we'll see what happens here on round number 8. Gradma looking for some shots onto Dex as Alex Silence opening things up with a kill on a Beaver. Oh my goodness, IVI are dropping like dominoes. And here comes Ampa UK looking for a kill on a Pixel Player, but Pixel Player, oh, doesn't find the kill, but Goat Boy does, who was sitting behind the box, and it's now just down to Dex, the last member of IVI standing on this round, and Pixel Player will find that kill as well to give Nexus their second round of 7 that they must get. You're on top, Nexus on top. I'm confused. Which team is on top? Sigma Squad on top. So who is on top? That's the true question. But currently IVI is on top. They are playing very, very well here, and I think they're actually on top of the overall standings for EU. So if we want to talk about who's on top, oh no, it's Sunset Ravens is on the top of the leaderboard. I forgot. So really, it is a, you know, Sunset Ravens are on top. That's what you should be saying. Here we go on to round number 9 of map number 3 and half number 2. Lots of numbers to remember here as we move into the round. IVI, they super ecoed last round. They got a ton of money. They're able to buy their utility. And remember, all they need is just one round. And they will have that win against Nexus. The highly coveted win of Nexus. There's the drone moving through the red hallway. Beaver, Itris taking out that door blockers. It looks like IVI are going to try to play that server corner inside A, but heavy resistance coming from Nexus as they find 2. And IVI loses Itris, one of their top fraggers, very, very early. Wee Laddie, however, does take out Alex Silence, who was on the flank. Beaver looking for that door blocker, going for the reload. Pixel Player just tucking in the server corner. And it's a 3 versus 3. This is a big round for IVI. If they don't win this one, they're going to be stuck ecoing. For at least another round or 2. An interesting way to die. Pixel Player still tucking in server corner. Beaver right outside does have that breaching foam down on the wall. There's a minute and a half now on the clock. What is that we got? Oh no. Wee Laddie crab walking right now. They're stuck. Somebody make a gif. Uh-oh. It's too late. And here we go. There goes the server corner as we have a disconnect from IVI. Can Wee Laddie reconnect in time? I don't think Wee Laddie's going to reconnect in time. Goat Boy. Oh, no. Wee Laddie reconnects, but it's just too late as the bot walked right into the trip mine of Alex Silence. Beaver moving up through that static field emitter may walk right into Goat Boy here. There's only 50 seconds left on the... There's a disconnect from Nexus! But so... Oh my goodness, Beaver finds a kill of their own! There's disconnects happening from Nexus all over the place! What is going on? We're losing all of our players! It's just down to Bot Nick! Can anybody on IVI connect? What happened? It's Dex! Dex is back! There's 30 seconds left on the clock. It's down to Pixel Player and Bot Bram. If Dex can take out Pixel Player, then Bot Bram should be free, but Gradma reconnects! But Pixel Player misses their shots! Oh, excuse me, Dex misses the shots and Pixel Player finds the win. What just happened? What? What happened to the players? Huh? I'm at a loss for words. What was that? What was that? All of a sudden, both teams just started having rapid disconnects, and it became a battle of who could reconnect to the server and put in the password faster. What? That's very, very interesting. Some server issues, it looks like, from the teams. But, okay, we'll see what happens in this next round now that Nexus have picked up their third win against IVI. They now only need 3 more rounds to bring it back. Only 3 rounds to tie it up. We'll see if they can do it over here on IVI. Or excuse me, on Nexus. IVI only needs 1 to win. There goes the breach into the blue box corner. Or blue box room. Ooh, Dex picking up a lot of damage from that frag grenade. 2 minutes 45 on the clock as Pixel Player looking to rotate into the red room. There's now 2 minutes 40 on the clock. We see, okay, 3 Spectrals, 4 Spectrals, and a Cyclone from IVI. As once again, they are ecoing. They're gonna try their luck again. Not in round number 4, but yeah, I mean, this is going to get very, very close. This would be a 4-6 game if Nexus can win this. And IVI are going to try and cut off the momentum of Nexus before they can bring it back, tie it up, and then leave us all with an unsatisfying ending in this matchup. Now 2 minutes on the clock as Alex Silence upstairs in the red hallway. Gradma currently playing tubes. There's a minute 50 on the clock right now as Gradma taking out Dex with an S-tier frag. Karamu currently playing tubes. As Wheeladdy hanging out outside a red room. Pixel Player drops 2 players. A 3rd player. Pixel Player's on fire. They're not standing in an incendiary grenade, but they are... Okay, that was a horrible joke. I'm sorry. I didn't know where I was going to go with that. But there is a minute 15 on the clock right now. Beaver with the Spectral heading down the red stairs. And it's a 1 versus 4 situation for Beaver right now. 3 Bensons and a Marui. So it's going to be tough, to say the least, for Beaver here. Oh... There goes the proximity alarm, and Goat Boy just catches Beaver, giving Nexus a 4-6 game. They only need 2 rounds now to draw against IVI. And IVI are now getting very, very nervous because they only have 2 rounds to bring it home. They played so well in the first half. If they're unable to secure at least a singular round here in the second half, it would be very, very disheartening for them. When you're about to... At least it wasn't a game deciding round. It was when everybody was disconnecting. It was. I could have won that. It could have really been an IVI round, but oh well. I really can't explain it. Why all the players from both teams started disconnecting. But if I had to tell you one thing, one guess of mine, it's that they weren't doing it intentionally. I don't think they meant to do that. They didn't accidentally open up the menu and all hit the button. And here comes the drone moving towards the red stairs. Pixel Player just rotating back on the flank. 2 minutes 45 on the clock as It Riz and Beaver making their way into red hallway now. Where's Alex Silence? They're over in the red storage on floor number 1. Yeah, floor number 1, then the floor number 2, and then the basement. But here we go. Wee Laddie heading outside, around probably over to the vehicle bay. Yeah, here comes Dex and tossing a frag in. He's able to take out that static field emitter. Nobody has died yet. Two minutes on the clock. Oh, you hear the drone from Wee Laddie. I think Pixel Player. Okay, Pixel Player gonna push the drone, not gonna push Wee Laddie yet, because Dex is waiting right there on the angle, and it looks like it's gonna be an assault once again on the server corner from IVI. There's now 1:40 on the clock. Here comes the breaching foam from Ampa UK. Riz and Beaver moving through display as Wee Laddie and Dex setting off that proximity alarm. They do get that incendiary, and Grandma almost catches Wee Laddie. Pixel Player once again tucking in that corner. They do have breaching foam on it. Ampa UK watching the flank. There's 1:15. Karamu takes out Beaver. Riz finds Karamu. Ampa UK responds with a kill on a Pixel Player, and the push is happening. Here we go. There's now just a minute on the clock. Dex is able to pick up the kill on the grab mouse. It's now a 4 versus 2. It's just down to Alex Silence and Goat Boy. The last hope for Nexus as Dex takes out Alex Silence, and it's now just down to Goat Boy, who's got a 1 versus 4 this. The EMP has been planted over in Site A, and Goat Boy is in trouble here, and Wee Laddie takes out Goat Boy to give IVI the win over Nexus in this incredibly intense matchup. What a close game it was by these teams. I mean, they both played extraordinarily well. Map 1 we saw went to Nexus. They beat IVI there. They got the 7-3 over them. Really brought it back after they found those initial few rounds. But then we got to Map 2, which was the closest match of the matchup here. I mean, it went 5-7. Came down to the final round, those final kills. And IVI was just barely able to scrape the win out of that one. And then map number 3, and what it really came down to, the fact that IVI was able to pick up 6 rounds, against Nexus in the very beginning. They just didn't have any padding. If they had at least 1 round, if it was 5-1, then we might have seen Nexus tie that map up. If it was 4-2, we might have seen Nexus win. But again, that's why you go for some rounds. That's why you have to get those round wins, because if you don't, you're not leaving yourself with any kind of opportunity to bring it back. Excuse me. But for now, that is going to do it for us over here at the VRML. I hope you enjoyed this matchup as much as I did. Quick shout out to everybody in the chat. Rise, Anomalous, Makamo, Dave Shepard. Did I miss anybody? Fraza. Okay, it looks like, yeah, that's everybody who's here for now, and the remaining people who are watching, 38 people watching this matchup. So we do appreciate that over here at the VRML. Once again, thank you to our sponsors, Triangle Factory, ProTube, HyperX, and Exclaim. Make sure you check them out, and you can support the VRML as well. But for now, I'm your host, Gibular Bob. This has been IVI versus Nexus. Congratulations to IVI for their win and remaining undefeated as they move through this EU season. They stand atop the mountain here of challengers, and they've beaten Nexus, who was the runner-up in potential here. They beat Cheeky Breachy and .com, but they couldn't beat IVI. Maybe if they meet under different circumstances, they play some different maps, it could go the other way. I could definitely see that happening. Very, very close. But until then, once again, I'm Gibular Bob. This has been the VRML, and we'll see you all later. Have a great night or rest of your day, everybody.
VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager. Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.